beautiful. 134 versus 162 in favour of the coalition. Not to worry though. Some archers are getting some good cheeky shots from the side going out, but you know what? That just makes them a target. You watching those guys on the left, I promise you they'll get shot, and the game will be over for them. As the BRE are making the first move to move up, soaking up those. What they're doing? The coalition forces are moving around to the right to do a hard right flank. They've separated their forces. The Bretonnians, they need to stutter now. This is when they need to go. Oh, look at that! That's going to be a nasty cavalry flank from behind. The coalition have put all their marbles on the right flank and holding on the left hand side. That cavalry, the Bretonnian cavalry, needs to get into that battle quickly, as there appears to be Bretonnians in the centre and they're holding on the left hand side. They've got a big fight ahead of them. The numbers 120 versus 145 in favour of the coalition forces. That was a beautiful, beautiful cavalry charge by the coalition. Right now it looks like it's a bit of chaos, but generally the Bretonnians are in the centre, the archers on the far side. On the right there's a lot of green coalition forces on the left hand side. Most of them aren't doing anything though. I can't really see them fighting anyone as they're kind of holding off a group of people. The numbers are getting closer. It's 87 to 100. The numbers are getting closer. It looks like there's a small line of Bretonnians have formed up again, and they're charging up again. Cavalry seems to be whizzing around all on their own. No cohesion to cavalry, but there's a little bit of cohesion going on here in the centre for the Bretonnians against some of the coalition forces. And there's a lot of 1v1s, 2v1s happening all around the outsides. It's 50 versus 65. This is a close game. Look at these guys fighting tooth and nail over here. Outnumbered, 45 versus 50. The numbers are almost even. The Bretonnians are doing very, very well here. Here's some of the VSC guys. There's not as many of them anymore, but they've definitely done a big dent. That initial flank was beautiful. The numbers are even, and there seems to be a lot more Bretonnian cavalry on the battlefield. I do feel like the coalition don't have as many cavalrymen. Maybe not all of their men came today. The numbers are still very even. They need to be very careful, both sides now, if they want to see this one through. It looks like those Bretonnian cavalry though, they're just getting some nice picks. I can't see anyone else getting kills like them. See that kill right in the centre? Oh, but that was not Bretonnian. That was a coalition fighter. It's a nice arch kill. You can't stand alone. There's a little fight going on here. The Aquitani and the Nest fighting side by side. 21 versus 9 in favour of the Bretonnians for this round. What a beautiful fight. What a beautiful fight. I really enjoyed that one. What a great start. I loved the splitting of the forces, and you could tell the Bretonnians didn't know what to do. They didn't know which line to attack. It's a shame the coalition didn't win that one. No, this is the 6th round then. Going on to the 6th round. We're looking at the Bretonnians over here on this small hill. 135 versus 165. Looks like there's the coalition cavalry over there. Saying that, looks like the coalition already here at these rocks. Oh, there's going to be a tight collision here already. Very early fight. Let's see what happens. Form up. Both sides need to form up quickly. Don't want these trees to be in the way. Let's see what happens here. Looks like those archers are using the rocks again for their advantage as the two sides prepare their shield walls, and the skirmish phase begins. The skirmish phase being when the arrows fly overhead. Those archers got a good position on those rocks, but of course it makes for good targets as well. And looks like the CI are moving up straight away for the first collision as the VSC clash into the BRE front line over there. And the Aquitani yellows are moving up the centre, the heavy centre. What's going on? There's a lot of Bretonnians here on the left flank, and it appears the coalition are mainly favouring the right flank of the BRE. And here come the coalition cavalry. But then here come the Bretonnian cavalry colliding with the coalition cavalry. There's a bit of a circular formation going on over here. But the main fight seems to be happening over there on the right hand side. Let's see if we get a closer look. There's a bloody fight going on here. Jesus. Praise be the lady. Some heavy fighting going on over here. Look at all that. Looks like the Bretonnians are slowly pushing them back on both fronts. A bit of a lighter fight going on here on the left flank. And the Bretonnians are slowly but surely pushing them back. The numbers are only 10 difference at the moment in favour of the coalition. They need to be careful if they're going to win this one. This left side is still quite weak, but there's enough Bretonnians here to fend off the coalition forces. And look at that yellow wedge in the centre, keeping the yellow centre of the Bretonnia strong as they're smashing their way through it. And there seems to be a small couple of fights over here. But the real fight's here. It's hard to believe that there's still over 120 players on the battlefield still alive. When we started playing this game, we had games of only 60, 70 players. Now I consider this to be in the last part of the game. Look at that, some nice close fighting going on there. A lot of spears being used. The spear is the best friend in these large battles, because you can attack the enemy and you can stay out of the reach of all the one-handed weapons very easily. There's some great fighting going on. Great fighting. Cleaning up shop now as they take the 6th round. Great fighting. You know, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually rooting for the coalition this game. I've never really watched it from their point of view, and it's almost humbling to see it from their side. It's nice to see them. I mean, a lot of these guys we've played with quite a few times now, and it's getting, you know, they're not just guys you kill online anymore. They're becoming familiar names, familiar clans. And that's what a lot of this is about, you know. This is what keeps Mount & Blade alive. It's the community. Way past all the single players have logged out, you've still got the multiplayers playing together. These epic battles, these epic organised fights come together. Of course, you can't have solo players in these games because, well, quite frankly, you can't trust the general public. It's great discipline, great teamwork. All coming together on a Sunday night before we go back to work on the dreaded, or school on the dreaded Monday. It's nice to see them. Fisher of the GTN holding the flag with pride. I look forward to seeing these guys' skins when they finally come out. I mean, look how cool the CI and the VSC, I'm sure it is. Yeah, the VSC. Look how much better these guys look. I look forward to when all these guys have their own skins as well. ARGD, I hope they also get their own skins. Everyone, it just makes it look a lot better. I mean, the green's pretty cool. I like the coalition colours of the green. And here they are, marching straight to battle. Looks like they're going very aggressive. Are they just charging straight into battle? Looks like they are. Surely not, surely not. It'd be very exciting if they do. Oh, but they're getting punished by the Bretonnian cavalry storming right through the centre of the battlefield. But the coalition cavalry have met them at the rear. And what's going on here? It looks like the VSC are taking no prisoners. They have to go straight in for the battle. Straight in, extremely aggressive. I like it. But the rest of their forces need to catch up. They're going to be completely outnumbered now. I do agree with aggressive play, but if half your team's not there, you're just going to get swamped like that. They're absolutely surrounded now. As the rest of that, I'd say a third of their forces are back there trying to deal with, what, 2-3 cavalrymen? Big mistake. Big mistake on this battle. And the CI seem to be holding very well here down at below. A nice little battle line going on there, but they will only hold on for so long. Is it working for them? I don't think it is. There's just so many coalition over here not doing anything, not fighting anyone. And nearly all the Bretonnians seem to be in combat. Looks like the Bretonnian archers having a bit of a hard time being harassed. And the numbers are already even. Now Bretonnia just needs to regroup a bit, and they'll be able to finish off this last group of... I mean, there's a little bit of cohesion on the coalition side. Not a lot, really. Not a lot. Coalition are losing a bit. And we've got 10 less players than the Bretonnians. Still a couple of cavalry going around getting some nice kills. Cavalry gets so many kills in this game. Extremely deadly. You have to deal with the cavalry. So how we deal with it, each regiment, each unit of the Aquitani, of the Bretonnian, will dedicate 3 or 4 spearmen of each group to be dedicated spearmen. So when the fighting begins, those 3 or 4 soldiers, those 3 or 4 spearmen, will make a point of mainly, 90% of the time, watching the rear of the formation for any cavalry. And believe it or not, that's the best thing you can do. Stopping those cavalry getting those kills. Time and time again, even if the cavalry doesn't charge into the spears, The spear acts as a deterrent, wasting the cavalry's time that it could be used killing people, and they have to move on, circle back around. But this one easily went to the Bretonnians. To be fair, it was a very close game. Look at the numbers, 23-10. So I should give them a bit more credit, the coalition, on that round. They did very aggressive attack. They got a lot of kills, but I mean, if the rest of them were with them, you know, those guys were sort of getting there at the rear of the formation. If they were there with them, they could have won that one. Tell me what you think in the comments. Moving on to the next one. So here's a Bretonnian army is forming up. His lords, his knights, their squires. And it looks like the Bretonnians are forming up early. That looks like a good shout to me. They don't get caught off guard once again. And it appears the coalition forces have learned from their mistakes and they seem to be a bit closer together. I would like it if they did form up and wait for all of them. Look at, they still got guys way back there. They need to get out of those woods. Crikey me, here we go for a glory charge. They do that sometimes. If we're winning by a lot, they think, screw it. In the name of the king, for the lady of the lake, she will protect us. As they just charge in. And look at these arrows are coming. God, it's disorganised their forces, hasn't it? They need to regroup because the infantry is coming and the archers are firing. Beautiful charge. Absolutely beautiful charge. They're still reeling from that. And it's like the CI are moving up to get around the flank. They're feeling confident knowing that pretty much the Bretonnian cavalry have been completely wiped out, but the CI are baiting. They're doing a bit of a ruse. Here we go, here we go, here comes the fight. Looks like the coalition are coming around on the right hand flank and the left hand flank. There's not much in the centre. This is going to be another messy one. So let's see what we can see. So on the far side we've got a pretty even fight going on over there against the CI and the Bretonnians, and then closer to us here we've got the yellows and the blue and the reds are fighting. Looks like a pretty even fight all around, but generally the Bretonnians are encircled and they have a lot more cavalry still on the battlefield, but the morale must be low for the coalition after that amazing start. The BRA, we're going to have to pull one out of the bag if they want to win this one. And here you go, you can see the Pilgrim Knights, the guys in the black robes, fighting like absolute fanatical warriors, because that's what they are. Religious warriors who believe they are protected by their gods, by their spiritual lady of the lake. That's who we worship, and the numbers are bloody close. Look at that, 56 against 60. I couldn't tell you what's happening at the moment, because to be honest, it's a complete and utter mess. 50 versus 50. This is a battlefield. The banners are raised, swords are slicing into chainmail, bones are getting broken, flesh is pouring to the ground. This is Bannerlord. Look at that. Inside you're kind of finding a bit of, kind of seeing a bit of a split at the moment. It looks like the Bretonnians are on the right and the coalition's on the left. Still very close. 20 versus 23. Beautiful round. Beautiful round indeed. What a great game altogether. What a great game. I really enjoyed it. The coalition really gave it to us this time. There might be one more round, but generally there's been some very close games. The 2 or 3 it came down to the wire like this. 13 versus 14. Crikey me, it's still going. I felt like, it looks like the cavalry of the coalition are doing very good. It might be enough for them to get this one, as the Bretonnians are nearly all dead. 8 versus 11. They need to come together. They need to come together. I was about to stop the recording, but I would be mistaken. Watch out, here comes the cab man. 5 versus 8, Jesus. Two left. The Bretonnians. The coalition take another one. Well done to them. Good job. Good fighting. Very good fighting. I think they're gonna. Yes, they are. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolute carnage, absolute suicide, absolute glory as they fight and they die like heroes, digital heroes on the field of battle. He's doing more harm. They're doing more harm than good to their own team. Nevertheless, it looks like the Bretonnians are moving over here to get some sort of decent formation from the enemy. It's 120 versus 149 in favour of the coalition. They outnumbered them by a lot. I don't know what formation this is. It's definitely not in the textbooks. Is that the king? Is the king still alive? It is the king. He stands with his men. What a beautiful sight as the arrows start to come. Who's going to fight first? Looks like they're surrounding the Bretonnians completely. And the fighting has begun. They're coming up over the rocks towards the archers. It looks like there's a small charge on the left-hand side. And the coalition have nicely surrounded the Bretonnians on the right-hand side. As everyone fights for their lives now, fights for their lives. You can see the VSC, the round shields coming down off the rocks on the right. The left side for the coalition's not looking too good. They need to finish that fight quickly and come to the BRE's help. They're surrounded. The last stand of Bretonnia, we'll call this. Keep an eye out for those flags. See which one falls down and when. This time we're doing quite well here, but generally the rear of the Bretonnian battle line is in trouble. The numbers are evening up though. 67 versus 75. Wow, a lot of them just dropped on the side of the I can't get my words out. The coalition. Absolute mess now. The chaos of it all. But there's quite a few Bretonnians around the backside of the rock now, coming to assist the rest of the Bretonnians who are fighting tooth and nail to stay alive. 30 versus 50. There's no way the Bretonnians can bring this one back. Double the number now as the final stand on the rock begins. I don't know what happened to the king, but he's certainly down. Beautiful fight. A beautiful battle. I hope you enjoyed this, my friends. It's been my pleasure to bring you this awesome battle. If you want to get involved, you've seen the clan names, have a look. Try and join them. If you'd like to join the Bretonnians, we take anyone of all skill levels. If you're newer, that's cool. We like new people to enjoy this game. Details are in the description. All are welcome. Glory to Bretonnia.